We are live. What
We're
is up?
live.
Good morning.
Morning. Good
Welcome to
morning.
Forever Ollie and Mike. I'm Broadway Mike,
I'm Wicked Ollie. We have our
and this
coffees
is
this morning.
Forever Ollie and Mike. Just having my morning tea. Like literally, these last couple of days, the weather's been like throwing everybody off.
Yeah. It's making me not feel that. It's making me not feel the greatest.
Yeah, happy Saturday, but yeah, things have been going really well for the both of us. And welcome to another fun morning hangout with us and talking about our own experiences and feelings. And
Yeah.
it's
So
gonna be
what's
great. So,
the
what's the
topic
word of the
should
day,
be?
Olivia?
The word of the day is what should it be? Accessibility, because this is gonna be a great
Ooh,
topic.
that's a good one. Accessibility.
So let's take a drink. So anytime we say the word accessibility, you take a drink.
And accessibility is really the key thing, in this.
It's the key thing. But here's what I have been feeling lately. It's, if you don't notice that what happened, there was something that occurred a couple of days ago at a certain Broadway show.
Yep.
At a certain Broadway
For those of
show.
you theater fans know, probably watching this.
We're not going to say the name
We're
of the
not going to say the
show, but you
name, but
probably
I'm
already
sure you
know.
probably know from what went down.
What went down was, okay, so a girl, someone in the audience, she had a captioning device. So what a captioning device is a device that helps people with impaired hearing and vision so that they could record stuff so they can have a better listening and better view of what's going on at the moment, something like that. But so this girl, she was recording, and because she has vision and hearing impairment, and so she was recording a performance of a certain show. We're not going to say the show, and then the performer decided to,
A cast member
from the show called her out not only once but twice from during the show.
Yeah, and also
the poor girl, I felt really awful for her. Like, I
yeah, that
understand that
video.
recording.
I'm a mess every time when I see it.
Yeah, and I understand where there was. I understand where there was lack of communication. There was probably lack of communication between house management and ushers and performers, and the actress who called her out. Here's what I think. I don't think she was at fault because she thought it was a recording device, because so many shows are being recorded lately. And
Yeah, and then
she
people
just
posting
thought.
them on YouTube, which is
That's
so
what she just
crazy.
thought. But she didn't know it was a captioning device, So the poor girl, I felt really awful for her, really bad for her. She did not deserve that. But at the same time, it's also not the actress's fault. There should have been more communication between house management and and staff. And
And the
usually
full
captioning
company.
devices, theaters do provide them for people who have vision and hearing impairment.
Yeah, and actually I was like doing some research after I heard about the whole incident.
Mm-hmm.
So apparently they have stuff like this, organized actually at the Metropolitan Opera. So if anyone ever goes to the Met,
Kennedy
they have
Center
this,
has it too.
they actually have it like on like the seat behind in front of you. So they have also they put like the subtitles for like all the operas and everything.
Yeah,
Because
when I went to see Magic Flute, they had that too, but it was above the stage, like you couldn't see it very well.
yeah, they'll usually put them on the sides of the stage, but at the Met they have them in the seat right behind you, so it has like all the subtitles of like just like the lyrics, how it's all translated in various languages, which I think is really cool. And then they have the same thing as well.
Yeah, so I feel like in this circumstances that Broadway needs to have more accessibility even for people with disabilities.
Absolutely.
Because they also deserve to enjoy the show.
Yeah,
And they
everyone
should
needs to enjoy the show. And theater's for
accessibility.
everyone.
Accessibility.
Accessibility.
And no one ever should be also ridiculed for having a disability. They all deserve to enjoy the show. Like me, for example, I love the autism friendly shows. I don't think that they do them enough. I think they need to do it at least once a month, because I also have autism. I had Asperger's disorder, which is a form of autism, and they need just more accessibility for shows, and like everyone deserves a chance to go see a show. Nobody
Oh, absolutely. And this is why theater's
nobody
for
deserves to
everyone.
just stay home and not enjoy a show.
Yeah, and I actually did see a video actually of another show that, when I first started hearing about what they do is because they also do, even for like those who are for the blind, what they do is they'll have like someone in the wings basically going through the script and reading all like the description of the action. And I think it's a
Yeah, we
really
had
cool.
that when we did Hello Dolly.
Yeah, and to me, I always think that's amazing when they do stuff like that. And actually, I remember I went to see my cousin do Godspell at Paper Mill, and the performance that I was at, it was on closing night. They actually had like a signed interpretate performance, which was so amazing.
Yep.
Yeah, and it's so amazing that a lot of theaters like the way they do that to make it more accessible. But I think they should definitely, but I'm sure definitely, and I know for a fact that Broadway, they should definitely do a lot more of these performances all throughout the year, so it can give more people of all kinds the opportunities, because not that many people get that chance to go to a live performance, whether in New York or your local community, because it really is a reminder that theater is for everyone.
Yes.
It's all about the accessibility.
And here's the funny thing, though. I hate to say this, but theater's always wanting to talk about it, like inclusion and like diversity, but it's one of the least diverse things that happen. They're not really much into diversity until you fight for it,
Yeah, and that's the one thing, because everyone will always say these things, but then nothing happens. But then it isn't until when more people start to come together and they really start
It
to
isn't
see
until
it.
something happens until.
But yeah, it is so really, there's just like no words to describe, what
Yeah.
went down at that certain show.
But no hate against the actress. No,
No,
obviously.
absolutely not.
No, there's no hate. She's not at fault for this. It was a total misunderstanding.
It was a misunderstanding,
It was a
and
misunderstanding. So please, if you know about the show, please do not give her hate for it. Do not send her hate messages. She's human. She's human. She made a mistake. She's a human being. She's a human being. She did not know it was a captioning device, and she didn't know that. And at the same time, we do feel for the girl too. And I
yep.
feel like
Yeah,
theater
that
needs to
video,
have
it always gets me every
theater
single time.
needs to have more accessibility and more friendlier performances for people with disabilities also as well, because
Oh,
people
definitely.
with disabilities, they're no different than anyone else.
Yep, they're the same as everyone, and
we're
we're all authentic in our own
I
ways.
have a disability. I have a disability. We are the same as everybody else. We are no different. We are just born in a different way, but we are not different than anybody.
Seriously, actually, I gotta tell you, one of my favorite albums, I've been actually randomly re-listening to a couple of days ago, was Lady Gaga's Born This Way. And that album is truly, I think that's everyone's anthem, to be reminded of who
Like
we are as
like
individuals. And
I was born with Asperger's disorder, and we also deserve to enjoy theater as well. I
absolutely.
have some hearing sensitivity issues too, and comprehension issues, and comprehension sensitivity too. That means like we take certain things that are said certain ways, we can't comprehend what they're trying. I'm saying I can't comprehend what someone is meaning,
Mm-hmm.
So that's also a thing too. So it's just not it's just not like we are no different than anybody else.
Exactly.
Like, I have comprehension issues. It's hard for me to comprehend and read certain things, and that is fine. That is perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But we're also human. We're human beings.
Absolutely.
We're human beings. We do deserve to be treated with respect, too, as if like everybody else.
Absolutely.
Yep.
But it's just really the words that I'm just thinking it's still shake. I literally was still shaking every time I saw that video. I was just shaking just to hear about what happened. And seriously, that, like I said, everything, there was like a misunderstanding that went down, and yeah, none of it should have happened.
No.
And my love and prayers go out to that girl.
Yeah. Because nobody deserves to be nobody deserves to be like ridiculed, for what they have. But like I said, the actress, obviously she had no malicious intent there. Like, she did not do that on purpose. It was a total misunderstanding. It was not malicious at all. I still love the actress. She's still human. And also, she made a mistake. But I also feel really bad for the girl, But I'm saying is that it's mainly house management, Usher's fault for this, because they didn't communicate.
Yeah, but I think seriously, what they should also do is, whenever they know that there's going to be something, like a performance like that, or they should always make a reminder just to, let everyone, or at least teach a lot of the company members like what is what,
Yes.
so they don't know, so they don't have like a crazy mix up.
Yes. And I think that's
Or
really
they should,
important.
or they should put like a little coat on, like put a little something in one of the seats, just so in case anyone needs a good sense on where people are going to be so they won't. So if they have to use it, they won't think it's the camera.
But that will we don't want to do that too. Just say that someone in the audience is going to be using a device. Doesn't matter where they're sitting, because you don't want to make that person embarrassed.
Yeah. You know what? I was just trying to say they could do something just to accommodate, just like the company will know, just so they don't get confused.
No, that's why they could just say there's going to just be someone. They don't have to point out to the audience, who they are.
Yeah, it's just no words what happened.
Yeah. Like, for my show, for example, I will offer captioning devices for people, but I'm going to have house management tell me whenever there's a captioning device out.
That's one of the most amazing things about, what's also been amazing about even with Olivia's show is just like really, when you think about like all these like crazy things that go down in the theaters that are like been making the news, it's given her an amazing point of view on how really what this world should really be and how to make theater more accessible for people.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things I'm really loving about, especially your show, The Power Vote, is really going to send a message to people just to know that, we may have our strengths, and we have our differences, but at the end, we're the same as everyone else.
Yep. We are the same as everybody else. That's why there's needs to be more accessibility.
Yep, exactly.
Yep. Yeah, anyways, we're probably going to just end it here, but Mike and I will go live on our personal accounts before Mike's heads off.
Yep,
So we'll see you next week.
We'll see you next week.